Where is AI already creating measurable logistics value based upon what you're working on right now?
Yeah, I think there's really like 3 dimensions where I've seen it like actually already not only working, but
Which are the use cases that are overhyped or harder to monetize? What would you say?
if I actually can automate this, what is my actually AI cost? Because also people now forget, but the AI cost is increasing drastically.
I'm really excited about today's episode because it's a topic that has been across boardrooms, conferences, everyone is talking about it, and the topic is AI. One of the questions that I have been getting from multiple clients is where can AI create measurable return on investment in Latin American logistics? Where can it reduce costs, improve visibility, and strengthen decision making in the region? And to help answer that, I'm joined today by a good friend, Nabil Malouli. He has spent his career in logistics and now is an AI expert. He has been working on global supply chains, digital transformation, and has led operational execution. So, Nabil, when you hear all the excitement around AI today, what part of you is excited and what part of you is concerned?
I think where I'm excited is you have a huge range of opportunities here. So I think that excites me. Number one, AI is going to level the playing field in terms of knowledge access and people being able to do technological initiatives, advancements, learning, simulation, and so on. So that's great, right? Like it gives you new opportunities, and these opportunities are going to be accessible to everybody, right? The second thing that I'm really excited is this is going to create a new wave of business opportunities. You're going to have new business models. You're going to have new revenue streams. You're going to have a ability to expand in areas that you could not expand before. You're going to be able to create new businesses also in a different way, faster, better, bigger. So I think that's also very exciting. Where we have to have some level of understanding is this is going to have meaningful social impact. There are categories of jobs that are going to be highly impacted, and there are going to be families and people that are going to be impacted by this. And I think we shouldn't underestimate the impact it's going to have on certain categories of jobs. That's the area that I think we should be looking for. So now I do advising, and I advise a couple of companies in agentic AI and also in physical AI. And I'm working basically with these companies to deploy AI use cases and application at enterprise level.
Fantastic. Where is AI already creating measurable logistics value based upon what you're working on right now?
Yeah, I think there's really like 3 dimensions where I've seen it like actually already not only working, but like creating massive value is one is operational workflows. So any type of like delivery coordination, any type of like visibility of operations where you will have somebody that has to do, a digitalization of a document, digitalization of a proof of delivery, receiving an email for a raid request, all these manual workflows, all processes that have some level of human intervention and tasks, they are already being automated. If your job is to receive any type of documentation and type the information into a system, you can be sure that that is gone very soon. And you don't need to have highly structured data. You can do this with also unstructured data. The second thing is communication. Agentic is really, really good already at communication. So if you are calling to confirm appointments, if you're calling to do follow-up of orders, if you're calling to receive account payable, if you are calling to respond to a customer that is asking where is my order or where is my shipment, that is also still early days, but a communication workflows will become highly, highly automated. Maybe not 100%, but even if you get to 80% of any communication workflow optimized, this has massive implication for a business in terms of savings, but also in terms of the workforce impact that you could have. The productivity level of your people, right? So today, for your audience, I don't know how many of them are using AI tools, but I think it's really important today to explore, test, and use them, as assistants, as tools that can help you to be more effective, can be able to be faster, higher quality, I'm not somebody that will say, hey, just do everything with AI. I don't think that's the right thing either. I do think that expertise you have in your job and the work that you do has a lot of value in the way you can use these tools, and that I think you should probably try to use also combination of both, right? Your brain and your expertise and your knowledge combined with the tools, right? I don't think it's one or the other, but you should not also think like, oh, I don't want to put this into this system because what else is going to happen with that? I think you have to be, of course, very mindful. If you have confidential data, you don't want to put that into any type of large language model. But if that's not the case, or you anonymize the data, I think you can use a lot. And so, very simple example, right? If if you do any type of reporting in your job, or if you have any type of Excel document, Diego, you and I, we were at this event last week, right? Like where we met. And, I said to the audience, I said, if you're using any type of Excel sheets on your day to day, just take that Excel sheet, put it into Claude and ask it whatever you want, right? Like whatever the Excel sheet is about, clients, revenue, financial data, HR data, whatever you want. Again, if it has confidential information, just delete the confidential information, replace names with codes or whatever, and just push that into Claude or into GPT Codex. And you're gonna see, you're gonna get a lot of insight, you're gonna get a lot of reporting, you're gonna get a lot of analytics that will take you hours, if not days, to build.
Now that we have talked about the opportunities, let's discuss which are the use cases that are overhyped or harder to monetize. What would you say, Nabil?
I think what is overhyped today is search. If you think about like generative AI, I think the impact actually of agentic is higher. Actually, Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, just said it as well. He said that a lot of the revenue and a lot of the volume of transaction that he sees coming from agents. I think right now you have such a hype in, you kind of have like at very high level, right? Like physical AI, agentic AI, and then a generative AI.
So,
I think
what's
there's
the difference between physical AI and agentic AI?
Yeah, so physical AI would be more the AI applications toward robotics, for example. Yeah, humanoids, machine vision systems. So really more of the technology that get deployed in the physical world. Agentic is really the notion of technology taking action on our behalf based on certain rules. That will be the biggest difference. And generative AI is what everybody uses, which is pretty much the likes of general search or summaries and meeting minutes and doing regular queries. I think I'm highly simplifying this, but just for everybody. So I think agentic AI in business, I think is going to be the biggest impact. And the reason why I think it's going to be the biggest impact is because agentic AI touches every single department of a company, right? If you think about like many of the applications you see today, you could say, well, generative AI, writing emails, generating summaries, they're generating, of course, it does touch also a lot of people. But when you talk about like task replacement of what we do every single day, I just think like agentic will be bigger.
Especially when you think about the automation on warehouses, on ports. I think China has become the leader in terms of automation in the logistics space because labor costs have risen dramatically. Also, people don't want to work anymore in those harsh conditions in the factories. So I think that's part of the drive to create this level of automation. Obviously, you get 99.9% of efficiency with robots versus humans. And the other side of the equation is labor cost in Latin America. So labor costs in Latin America have not risen as much as we have seen in other parts of the world. And also we have ample labor to continue leveraging humans in this type of operation. So when you think about the other side, which is what you described on the workflow processes, that's when I think the return on the investment becomes really attractive. So if a client would ask you this, Nabil, what would you say? How should my company evaluate the return on investment on AI before investing?
I built a tool actually that I use into the deployment. So maybe if your audience want, they can just reach out and I'll share it with them, or they can just, follow me on Instagram. And, I do have like some automation that allow you to get this type of access. But for you to score return on investment, First of all, you have to scope the department that you want to do it, and you have to scope the task that you want to do it, right? And so the methodology and the framework that I build is company, department, task, who is doing it. So you input the price or the cost of like that type of job being done the way it is done today. And then you evaluate what are the potential savings. This is very basic, but most of the people don't do that. They go and they say, oh, we're going to automate this or we're going to try this thing. But first you have to really like evaluate what is your actual input cost towards a specific task. And then if you say, well, if I actually can automate this, what is my actually AI cost? Because also people now forget, but the AI cost is increasing drastically. The tokens, which is the currency of exchange or the price to pay for AI model, has increased significantly and it's going to continue to increase. So you have to put your cost also as what is your automated cost and what is your manual cost today or the way you do it today. And then you do the evaluation of, okay, if I have, say, 20 people doing certain amount of work and I can automate 50%, well, I'm going after pretty much like a 10 people in that case workload that I'm going to be able to automate. And then maybe I can take these people and do something, of more value, differentiated with that workforce. But I also have an AI cost that's going to be important to put into the model. So this is a highly simplified view, but I think to me the most important for companies is to map the process that they want to automate and have a good understanding of what it costs them to do it. If you have somebody that responds a phone call, you can price that. And you can price it at the minute. You can price it at the second. You, Diego, you can price yourself and anybody can price themselves on every single task because there is an employee cost. Even if you're an entrepreneur, you know how much you estimate your time to be worth. And so if you do something and you time it, you can put a price to it. And then if you're like, okay, I can actually do this now much faster, there is a return on investment, a calculation on it.
What would you say about, for instance, the specific customer verticals that are potentially prepared to pay for a premium when you enable AI?
It's all over the place. Look, if you're in the business of back office function in Colombia, right, AI adoption become absolutely critical, right? Like, I mean, if you do not adopt AI to become, a BPO embedded with AI and do things way more effectively and so on, full AI companies are going to take over from you. If you're in an industry where you wanted to create a new revenue stream, but you could not do it because you needed a sales force that would be 50 people calling, a prospect, customers. Well, now you can do it. Now you can launch that business model because now you have access to that type of technology. You can do it. It's all over the place, Diego. If your business was built on the basis of cheaper labor, outsourced somewhere else, of very simple tasks, this will be the type of business that's going to be the most exposed. No doubt about that.
Give me two predictions. Where do you think we're heading with AI in 1 year? Summer of 2027. What things can corporations and individuals do with AI that we cannot do today?
In enterprise, I don't think the topic is about technology. I think the topic of discussion is about adoption.
Okay.
Most of the companies have not even used 10% of what is available today of AI capabilities, not even 5% of what is possible already today. So let alone in a year and a half, or by the end of the year. Today, the most important is execution. So I'm not going to make like any type of bold claim here. I think technologically, the models are impressive. Every month, there is an add-on of capabilities and scales and integration and so on. So there's no doubt that this is going to continue to evolve. Are we going to see another ChatGPT moment between now and end of next year? I don't think so. That we're going to see something completely now revolutionary again? I don't think so. But what we're going to see is meaningful improvement every single month. And for companies, I also don't think we're going to see ChatGPT moments. I think we're going to see companies increasing the adoption. And I don't think it's going to take 1 year. I think we are on into this journey for the next 10 years of large businesses and smaller ones embedding AI every day more and more into their business. And that's going to be an evolution, in my view, not a revolution.
When you think about a problem that you have today in your business, think how AI can help you solve that problem. and think about those problems that you continually face on it every single day, that you have said, no, this is impossible, and you just got used to that problem. But the beauty of AI is that will help you do the brainstorming. And what struck me the most was the following. I'm pretty sure that in 1 week, you could have answered that problem with all the tools that we have available today. And you just said it very beautifully. The problem is not the tool, the problem is the adoption that we have had on this technology. So I just leave the audience with that. Think about a business problem that you're experiencing today and try to solve it with AI. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be amazed by the level of technological advancement that we have today. So I really appreciate the conversation, your time, Nabil.
Thank you, Diego. It was a pleasure. Thank you to the audience.
Bye.
Goodbye.